All right. So the topic that we have started today is germination. It is again a part of the chapter discovering plants, ठीक है? And that is the last part when we talk about discovering plants. So we have already done with the pollinations, ठीक है? The agents of pollination, the types of pollination, and after pollination, your germination begins. Now, as you can see, the process of germination in this diagram only, that they are basically identifying that how a seed goes through different steps, through different processes in order to be a good and an adult plant. ठीक है ना? Over here they are showing you the image that represents the different process through which a seed goes by, right? Now, over here, first of all, we need to understand that what is a germination and what do we mean by this term. So, over here, they are telling us that germination is the process by which a plant grows from a seed, right? Simple as that, that it is a process by which a plant grows from a seed. Germination is emergence of normal seedlings from the seeds under ideal conditions of light, temperature, moisture, oxygen, and nutrients. Germination is emergence of radicle and plumule through seed coat. Right? Now let me explain you all these three parts of this definition. Part number one says that this is a process by which a plant grows from a seed. A pollination में क्या था, that seed was dispersed and it falls onto the ground. Now, since your ground has been pollinated by different agents of seeds, then how does a seed grows from the soil and it how does it turns into a plant? That is after going through the process of germination. Germination is basically a process that happens with a seed in order to um, grow it. All right, in order to grow a seed, the process is there which is called germination. Now, if you want your seeds to be grown into a plant, like a plant, first of all you need to see that your seed must be germinated well, and in order to germinate well you need to follow few of the things, or you need to keep an eye on few of the agents through which your seeds will grow into a plant very effectively. Your oxygen, ठीक है ना, oxygen that you give to your plant or to your seed must be in an enough amount, must be of adequate amount. Then the temperature of your surrounding plays a vital role in it. Then your water, ठीक है, you must water the soil properly, and all the mineral salts or the organic or inorganic fertilizers that you use in the soil must be sprinkled on the soil in order to make the seeds germinate. Then after it your seed grows into a plant. ठीक है? This is basically the process of a germination. Now, when we talk about germination, there are different agents, or there are different factors that you must know, or you must give your plants to germinate well. ठीक है? Otherwise, your seeds will never grow uh, out of the soil. Now, the factors that you need to, factors or the characteristics that you need to keep in mind for your plants to grow well is your water, your oxygen, your temperature, and your light. All right, these are the different steps such as water, oxygen, temperature, and light. All these things must be there in order to your plant to grow well. ठीक है ना? If any of these steps missed out, then what happen? Your seeds will not germinate. आपके seeds grow नहीं करेंगी. And sometimes if people forget the factors, or if people ignores the factors of uh, you know, the factors of influencing germination or influencing the seeds, what happen? Their seeds never grows out. 10-10 साल हो जाते हैं, 15-15 साल हो जाते हैं. It is also written in your books even that sometimes almost it takes almost 10 to 15 years also to germinate the seeds, and sometimes there are your plants which takes a lot of time in order to germinate. कुछ plants भी इस तरह के होते हैं, like your mango plant, ठीक है, वो germinate होने में उसको बहुत time लगता है. Your coconut plant as well, it takes a lot of time in order to germinate the seeds of such plants, like for a good 10 to 12 years. ठीक है ना, कभी कभार इतना time भी लग जाता है, but you must keep the things in mind, you must keep these factors in mind in order to germinate whatever your seeds, whatever seeds you are putting into the soil. Now, when we talk about germination, we must know that germinations begin with the पार्ट ऑफ अ सीड, ठीक है। सीड सबसे पहले ब्रेक करती है, फिर उसके अंदर एक छोटा सा प्लांट ग्रो करता है, फिर वो प्लांट जमीन से बाहर आता है, एंड देन दैट प्लांट becomes your adult plant, ठीक है। now what are the functions of it? सबसे पहले you have your seed, ठीक है। then in it has your radicle. Radicle means a small sprout that comes out of the seed. then your hypoclotel, it grows big. then your seed coat, फिर उसके बाद में सबसे पहले तो क्या होता है, after you hypothetical your root begins, ठीक है। your root is there which is there inside the soil, and as soon as it grows and as soon as it comes out of the soil, the seed coat sheds out, seed coat टूट जाता है, वो soil के ऊपर रह जाता है, and then your cotyledon comes out of the seed. your cotyledon is the baby plant, all right, and then through your cotyledon your plant grows and it comes out to be as an adult plant, ठीक है ना। your cotyledon is basically a young or a small plant. Now over here, the last screen that I want to share with you people is this. Now over here, there are few terms that are written, ठीक है ना? But we are not going to read and we are not going to get into each and every term which is there. ठीक है, हम लोग सिर्फ उन टर्म्स को पढ़ेंगे जो अभी इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे अपने उसके लिए ग्रेड के हिसाब से। Number one is your monocotyledon. Now what is that? It is a type of a seed which has a single plant in it. ठीक है, and then your dicotyledon, it has a type of a seed that has dual plants in it. वो वाले सीड जिसके अंदर एक प्लांट होता है उसको हम मोनोसिलेडन कहते हैं, और वो सीड जिसके अंदर दो प्लांट्स होते हैं उसको हम डाइक्लोसिडेंस कहते हैं, ठीक है। these are basically the baby plant that emerges into the seeds. It is also known as embryo, ठीक है ना। ये डिफरेंट डिफरेंट इसके नेम्स हैं कि सबसे पहले तो क्या होता है, your seed grows, your seed which is there into the soil, it keeps on growing, it grows a very small plant into it, then from that plant it grows one root into it, through that root it comes out of the soil, ठीक है। as soon as it comes out of the soil it sheds the seed coat, and then after it a baby plant grows from it, and then after the baby plant, when you keeps on putting natural ingredients to the soil like sunlight, when you keep it in a good temperature, when you give proper uh, water to it, ठीक है, when you give proper space especially for it to move or to grow, then your plant grows and it takes the pigments from the from the environment, the green pigments that is known as your chlorophyll, and then your seed becomes a as an adult plant, ठीक है। flowers are grown into it, then when the flower shed its sepals or petals, then you have your fruits out of it, ठीक है ना। फिर आपको seeds होती है, फिर उसके अंदर fruits लग जाते हैं। so all the process from the seeds to an adult plant is known as your germination, all right। the process from the seeds to an adult plant is known as your germination,